Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at TattooCharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait. You are entering the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson, your host, and you are listening to 100.9 FM WCHQ. And we are going to be pounding out the best in Louisville metal for you. And if you've got a request, all you've got to do is send it to WCHQmetalforge@gmail.com. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Thursday. It's 100.9 WCHQ. I am Mark Jackson, your host. And tonight I have a special treat for all of you all. I have A Locus Tide coming in to perform some songs. I have Adam Neal from Savage Master talking about their new album. And without any further ado, we're going to start the show off tonight kicking and screaming. This is Ironclad by Abominant.
The
right, that's Cryptic Hymn with Nazgul. Before that, Blind Scryer with Slow Moving, and starting the show off with Abominate Ironclad. And I have A Locus Tide here in the studio. Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
What's up?
Doing all right.
All right, so why don't you all introduce yourselves out to the people in Facebook land and FM radio land?
Right.
Well, I'm Jared. I play keyboards for the band.
I'm Zachary Kendall, and I play guitar and the bass for the band.
And my name is Jim, and I'm the drummer.
All right.
He's the anvil smacker.
The anvil smacker? Hey, this is the Metal Forge, so hey, he's in the right place.
That's right.
So, gentlemen, tell me a little bit about A Locus Tide. How did you all start out? Because you all are a new band, and just give me some info. You know, how did you start? Who's the spokesperson of the band? I bet it's Jim, isn't it?
No.
It's totally Jim.
Well, it's rooted around Jim. How did it start? I guess it started when we were 9 years old, right?
Well,
We've known each other for a really long time.
but
And y'all are 15, so... No.
Trying to be. Yeah.
yeah, but this generated actually some years ago, and
Yeah.
it was me and Zach. We've had other people come in, but it didn't take off, and until actually we got hold of Jared, and that's when it took off.
Yeah?
That's when it clicked. Ironically, Jared lives right next door to Jim.
Yep, that's how I met them.
So really, I feel
Wow.
like the whole...
Talk about convenient practicing.
Oh, it's
yeah.
it's great.
It's
I
very
got
nice.
a lot of keyboard gear, so just walking next door is really convenient.
Absolutely. It's like, hey, oh, man, I can't make it to practice. I'm not home. I can see your car, man.
Right. I'm looking in your window, man. You're playing video games, dog.
Right.
Yeah, I always get caught.
So what is A Locus Tide? What is the name? What does it mean?
Oh man, we went through. It evolved in a lot of ways, and I'm trying to remember all of it. It started off.
Well, Jimmy Tuesdays.
Jimmy Tuesdays.
What we called Jimmy Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Based on a Tuesday night.
A Tuesday night to come over to Jim's. A lot of different people. To not necessarily party, but definitely to have a few drinks and grill out.
No, you guys don't drink, do you?
Well, sometimes. At least we used to on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
brought a lot of good minds together. People really from like different points of view. So I guess the band kind of came out of that. But that would be the locus, right? The coming together of different minds and a lot of conversations. I wouldn't say it was like a men's group, but there wasn't. I mean, except for a few ladies that would come by, it was mostly guys. Just like, man, what's going on these days? That sort of thing. Who are we now? What's it like to be? I don't know, a man in this culture, maybe.
Right.
And where's it going? So
Just trying to make sense of our life.
yeah, in
Really?
the contemporary American context, right? More or less. And everyone had their own point of view, So it was kind of cool.
That's awesome. That's a very, and the tide is roll tide,
Rolling out, right?
Right. So that's actually pretty deep. That's, a lot of people, it's like, oh, I saw it written on the wall somewhere, or, or I just took two words, or, there's so many band name generator names out there.
Yeah.
Like Overload is, no, I'm,
I think we might have tried one of those.
I was to say,
Oh, yeah?
I definitely looked at it when we were playing around with names because, it started with Jimmy Tuesday, and it's like,
the interesting thing is if y'all would have kept that name and playing what you play, it would be it's so different because it would not match
It
the
would
name
not.
at
It'd be
all.
like
But it's so,
Yeah.
it's like a pop name. Like, hey, come on out and see Jimmy Tuesdays.
right,
and it's
like
just
pop metal or something.
Yeah.
Or like a deal at a Sizzler. Come in for Jimmy Tuesday.
Right.
Get some
Half
ribs.
drink specials.
Sizzler? Oh my gosh. They
Sizzler.
don't even exist anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Isn't it?
Now I'm
Just like Shoney's or something.
Or Ponderosa.
Oh, there's still one of those in
Really?
Scottsburg, Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's not too far.
yeah, it's like 35 miles.
Yeah, if you're really craving some Ponderosa, though.
word. Some buffet.
Yeah.
All right. So, getting into the music questions here, it's like, what do you all do to write a song? How do you do it? Because you've got drums, you've got keys, and you've got bass / guitar here. And I know you played bass on a lot of stuff, but you're also starting a forte into playing more guitar on stuff. Is that correct?
Well, traditionally I was
Or
a guitar
both?
player, but I mean, so you kind of pick up the bass sometimes. These are riffs I had laying around for a really long time, as it often goes, right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
the old rock star
20
dream,
years,
but then you have to
20
make a
years of
living.
writing.
Yeah, essentially, in some cases, absolutely true. But I guess I presented them to you, and we started to get the hang of things a little bit. Like, you started playing keys again, I believe, right?
Yeah, I had picked up the keys again, and I was playing like Beethoven covers and stuff. You know, I was just doing real classical type things because I wanted to like learn some technique, and I wanted to play something that's like, oh, it's just piano. Like, I can try this out. And that's when Zach came along. He's like, man, you know, I got some songs. Like, you know, it's like we sat down one night, and it's like, well, you know, Jim plays drums, and
Hey, my neighbor's a drummer.
yeah, and you're playing keyboards, and I got these songs, and I'm playing guitar or bass or whatever. So why don't we try something? And that's when Zach started coming over and really like helping me get up on these songs and like learn them and everything else. And
So there was an approach.
yeah, we had an approach to it.
Because, you know, it's one thing when a person at this day and age with Ableton, for example, can write whatever they want and just have total control and all that. But that's not really what I wanted to do with these ideas. My goal was always to give it to other folks, other people, and get some kind of collaboration going, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
That was the biggest joy in the beginning. Like, once we started to click and the writing came, like it grew from there. We got really excited, and Jim, I mean, this guy, he's like a clock, you know, held it all together, which was totally necessary.
I know. I'm playing another band with Jim. So
Right on.
yeah, absolutely. I know how he is.
The
He's like,
backbone.
he's got it going like something crazy. He's one of the best drummers I've ever played with.
Oh, he's lovely.
Yeah.
He,
Come
he
on.
sure beats he. If I could, I've tried talking him in to jumping over to Overload, but I can't get rid of the other drummer. He just, you know.
Well, you know how Todd is.
Hi, Todd.
There he is.
He's here running sound for these gentlemen tonight.
Yes.
Whatever his Hawkins studio, Birdland studio, something like that. He won't come up with a name because he's too afraid to. Because then it's in cement at that point.
Well, and
Which is who you all recorded with, correct?
Absolutely.
Which is Todd Hawkins. You can find him on Facebook and go get your demos and actual full-length albums recorded through Todd.
quality stuff for real.
It really is.
Yeah.
Todd's got the setup.
And he has good rates.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Generous.
I agree.
And,
Yeah.
and he's a pushover, folks. You know?
Wait for Todd to like stick his head back in.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
He's got it's like Big Daddy. He's got the glasses on so you can't see him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I know this is a new fledgling thing that you've got. You haven't really played any shows. This is world premiere tonight. You know, but you know, before this, what is your greatest accomplishment musically?
What do you think, Jim? Because he's done so much.
I know he has.
couldn't-
He's got like 49 albums.
No, I don't get that many now, but no. I couldn't say.
I
mean,
couldn't say you couldn't count how many albums you have on two hands.
Well,
You probably got at least 10.
I've
mean,
seen your album
easy.
stack, Jim. It's
Well,
pretty tall.
30 or 40 for real.
Yeah, that he's just done. From Abomin alone has 97 albums. No, not
I
really.
would say that was the longest band I ever
Right.
played with.
And with probably the most releases, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Since they've been together, 93 to 2016.
right.
Now, it was half of that, towards the end. But yeah.
So what's your
Legendary.
So if that's your biggest accomplishment, what do you want to do to get bigger than that?
Bigger, I just, as long as I play,
You're good.
yeah, as long as I feel it, I'm good.
Awesome.
That's it.
Hey, you do it for the love of doing it. That's
Right,
awesome.
right,
That's
right.
good stuff, Jim.
Yeah.
Zach, what about you, Zach?
I don't know. I think I had an opportunity, like an undergrad, to play in like jam bands, which helped me develop.
Right.
I'm like a lot of folks that we all know. Starting out playing Metallica covers, that kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
And then it kind of went into some punk and some other stuff because alternative was big there in the early '90s. See, I kind of missed the black and death metal thing, And I mean, Abominate. I think about Cataclysm. I mean, they were ground up doing some amazing stuff. But I never was exposed to that. And I was content just to kind of be a punker, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, power chord and everything. But I was a little bit of musical sensibility being given to me. Like, maybe I've always had the benefit, in a sense, I would say, playing with people that were better than me. And you learn and you grow, right? You pick things up, and that kind of opened a new door. So up to this point, that would have been the big change for me, I feel like.
Good deal. Yeah. So what is your goal to surpass what you've done?
Go for it. Just see what you can do, get some love out there and keep on writing, keep on doing it as long as possible,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Word.
Jared?
Well, mine's a toss-up. I don't have as much musical experience as these guys, so it would have to be between the 30-second solo I had in 8th grade band.
Woo!
Right? Or the time, I think it was last New Year's, we were over at my house, had a little get-together, and Jim had just moved his second drum kit over there. And me and him started jamming around, playing a few songs, and there was people there that didn't know that we really played music, and they were kind of like taken back. So I guess that was probably the best.
Wow. Heck yeah.
It was cool.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Seriously. If you could have written a song or an album by anyone else, it's like your absolute, damn, I wish I would have written that thing. It's like, that's a very good idea. What would it be?
Oh, I know this right away.
What's that?
Hemispheres by Rush.
Oh, yes.
I would have to, there's a lot of Rush I'm into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's just...
It's in the right.
That's how me and Jim became friends, was because of Rush.
You bonded over Rush?
Yeah. When he first moved in, we were like neighbors, and it was like, hey, how you doing? That kind of thing. One night he has this party going on, and he comes by and it's like, hey, if you want to come over, hang out, that's cool. So I stopped by, and when you walk in Jim's house, first thing you notice is he has a wall, and I mean floor to ceiling, from one wall to the other of CDs.
Oh my gosh!
I mean thousands, and it's wonderful. So immediately I start rifling through them. I didn't even play music at this point. I just was a big fan of music, and I start rifling through, and he's got every death metal CD probably ever written on this wall. And I'm going through it, and I at the time I wasn't really into death metal or any kind of metal really. And I find Rush there in all of this. It was like the unicorn in the middle of this valley. And I was like, "You like Rush?" He's like, "Yeah, I love Rush." He's like, and then I'm like, "Of course, you play drums like Neil Peart. You're gonna love Rush." So then we put Rush on to the dismay of everybody else at the party for the rest of the night. And me and him bonded. And I was like, "This is my new best friend."
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So Hemispheres by Rush. That's awesome. Zach, what about you? That one song or album that is like the mecca.
I'm still stuck on Sabotage by Black Sabbath.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like that's when things were kind of starting to crumble for them. There's like a certain anger and desperation
definitely.
in it. And they were so progressive.
What's your favorite song on there?
Probably The Writ.
Ah! Yes, really?
Ozzy's never sounded so good. There we go.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, The Writ.
I mean, he was.
You have answered correctly, sir.
Does that mean he won some money?
Oh, well.
No, I wish.
Cheeseburger. No.
I have a new setup for going into the new year, and it's a game show. Oh. I'm going to have a game show.
Yeah,
and it's Bible verse or Black Sabbath lyric. Copyright, trademark, the Metal Forge.
It sounds pretty good.
So
I want to play it.
It's an interesting thing, yeah, because some people, you'd be surprised that's a Black Sabbath lyric. Nope. Or vice versa.
Right. In some cases.
Well, Zach, if we get a phone a friend option, I'm definitely calling you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got your back. I'm well versed.
And it's not just Ozzy Sabbath. It's all, it'll be everything, even the Tony Martin era stuff, which is good. I like that era too.
I've grown to love all of it.
Right.
I used to be a snob. I was like, just Ozzy.
Just up the street here at Guest Room Records, I was able to. It's not a bootleg. It's like what they call a licensed bootleg. It was a bootleg originally. Then they bought the rights to it and reprinted it. Was Forbidden.
Oh, dig it.
Have you heard Forbidden before? He's probably got a copy of it, actually.
It's like early 90s.
About 95.
Okay.
And it's the last Black Sabbath album that's actually a considered Black Sabbath album until 13 came out.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the Heaven and Hell stuff in the mid-2000s. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Dio's amazing, obviously. He's like the Freddie Mercury of metal. I mean, or Freddie Mercury's the Dio of everything else. Right? It's great. I mean, that's.
I'm not going to question that.
He got me into Dio, I must say.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Jim's got like
a
wide range of music that he listens to. It's not just all metal and Rush.
Yeah, I listen to everything.
You were singing some Loretta Lynn out in the parking lot earlier.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Mm-hmm. So, if you had to pick an album, Jim, what would it be? Or a song?
That's hard to say, but I can only go back when it impacted me. I guess with bands like Dio,
right,
and of course the speed metal scene, in the '80s, late 80s, and what really got me was the death metal scene in the early '90s. That's what. Boom! It changed me there. Then, of course, I'm into black metal too. But as far as those bands that I was into, the early '90s was where
it happened. Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, too, if you have any recordings from previous bands that you've been in, any of you, get them to me. We'll get you in the database, and we'll get some stuff rolling on spinning you guys, regardless of time period, because we're an all-local station. We play everything. Like, I played some armbar stuff the other day. It's good stuff.
Sweet.
Well, we'll definitely have to get you this album when it's done.
The guy who's recording it will get it to me for sure. So, excellent. But I definitely want a physical copy of whatever y'all put out.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you put out a physical copy of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna.
That's one of my things as a That's one of my things as a musician myself. I love to have a physical copy of an album, whether it's whether it's a CD jacket or an actual jewel case or something on wax or whatever. Right. I like to have a physical copy to look at to flip through a booklet or whatever too. I love disc art. Album artwork. I love all of that. So it's definitely a dying trend these days where it's all digital on a phone and you see a little thumbnail of what could be an awesome album cover, but you really don't know.
I still totally buy CDs.
Yeah.
I go to the Great Escape, man. I'm always
and you rifle through
hunting. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do it. I go to pretty much every local record store. Better Days on Bardstown Road.
Yeah.
Guest Room Records up the street here on Frankfort Avenue. Matt Anthony, who moved over to Baxter Avenue now. All of those, even some that were. You're not here anymore, so but I totally go through all that stuff and just have to find every goofy little thing that I can find. I was actually at Great Escape on Saturday and found a cassette copy of SOD Speak English or Die.
That's ironic. Yeah.
It's funny because I know what you're talking about.
I've got it on CD, but I found it on tape there, and I'm like, oh, I got to get this.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw it there? I have it, but I saw it, and I texted Jim. I was like, Jim, you want me to pick this up? No, it's okay. I've already got it. So it all worked out for you, Mark.
He's probably got a first printing of it.
For real, right?
The black cover.
Something pure.
I've got a CD print of the silver cover, the 10-year re-release. Right. It's such good stuff,
Big small town, I guess.
Yeah, really. It's total good stuff, Yeah. So, if you could play a concert from days gone by, like a huge concert, you always hear of like Woodstock, Isle of Wight, Donington festivals. What's the Monsters of Rock over in like Russia? What would it be? What would you have? What major show, if you could have ever played it, what would it be?
That's a tough question.
That's a good question.
I guess it depends on what your influence is, really. Because I look at the picture of Metallica on the stage at Donington in '84, on the Ride the Lightning tour, and there's just like tens of thousands of people, and I'm like,
Cliff's
oh my god,
still there?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty
and it's just one of those things, it's like I wish I could have been there for that.
I wish
even
I
as a
could've-
fan.
Word, man. Like I think it'd be cool to hit some of those old jazz clubs in Europe, and like here's some straight up like gypsy jazz where it came from, like Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grafali. Oh, never mind. See, I'm gonna start flubbing my names here.
Yeah,
but that scene, you know, like in the 20s when things were just like wide open, there was more freedom.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
people were just going there and creating and doing amazing things like that. That holds a place for me. I think it'd be cool to experience something like that for sure.
I would have to say that what's that Doors show? I think it was in Texas that they played, and they had the wall of cops in front of them, and things got crazy, and he got maced. Jim Morrison got maced.
Oh, that was like New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, that was New Haven.
Why was that thing in Texas?
Yeah, that was New Haven.
New Haven. Okay.
Yeah, you know, Connecticut,
He got
Texas,
messed
same
up.
difference.
I mean,
That cop got him.
Yeah.
And
He's like, hey.
it was him.
I was here.
Backstage.
Right.
He got
Right.
zapped.
that'd be a show to like open for.
Oh, absolutely. Which is interesting because, you know, you've got a guitar player, you've got a key player, and you've got a drummer. Now you just need the crooner, like Jim Morrison, not Higgins, to come in and do some, you know, some awesome vocals. You pretty much got a Doors lineup.
That's very true.
You know,
Kind of turned out that way.
Ray
Kinda
Manzarek
turned out that way.
Ray Manzarek was always like, we didn't need a bass player because it's right here, and he would be like talking about his left hand, and he's like playing the dual stack, you know, on the Hammond organ and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome
Very
stuff.
true.
Counterpoint skills, man. All the skills on the counterpoint, you know.
So we've got New Haven Doors, we've got the 20s and 30s jazz clubs of like Europe and stuff. And Jim, what about you?
I could picture Iron Maiden in Long Beach.
Wow,
Yeah,
That's a pretty good one.
that's good stuff.
yeah.
Sweet.
Nice. So, you know, before we get into your performance, you do have a track, and I'm going to play something from the concert view, but I do have two final questions, actually. The first is, what's your favorite film? And that's for Ed out there. If Ed is listening, I know he's visiting a friend, but, you know,
Man, these days.
he always likes me asking that question for people. And of all time, everything. What film can you go back to that you watch all the time?
Like, I have to watch Apocalypse Now once a year. And it's probably, I don't know how healthy that is. But
It probably fuels your music.
maybe so, right? I don't know, man. That's a tough
Do
question.
you watch Apocalypse Now, or do you watch like the Redux version, like the big expanded, like extra hour edition?
Definitely the really long one.
Okay.
With the French plantation and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'll
absolutely
take as much as
love.
I can get.
You know, I love the beginning of that.
Yeah.
You know, and Coppola, when he directed it, said he's like, I always wanted to start a movie with the song "The End." He's like, because it's the beginning, but it's the end.
Yeah.
You know, and just like the helicopter.
Yeah.
Was it Charlie Sheen, right? I mean, like
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, dad.
The father, yeah.
Psh. Like he was wasted.
Vater, Dad is Vater.
Yeah. The father. No, he was wasted, right? And so
Yeah.
I think Coppola was like keying him up in a motel room. And finally, he's
So
just
it's real.
Like punching glass and losing his mind, and I guess that's art.
And
I suppose that's art, right?
Was it Lawrence Fishburne, who was like 15 at the time?
Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah. And that was like a ridiculous. If you ever watch the behind the scenes, it's crazy because it took like 5 years to film.
Yeah.
It was from like 75 to 79.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Martin had a heart attack and everything.
Yeah. And like Lawrence Fishburne was like 15, and then he was like 20 at the time when it came out, and he looked like a complete adult and everything. And it's like,
That's crazy.
it's like that's not the same guy. Jim, I know you're a big horror fan.
Yeah, I would have to say
Zombie 2. No.
Italian gore.
yeah,
Something from Dario Argento.
so, yeah. I mean, I always go back to those films like
Cannibal
that.
Holocaust.
They're beautiful.
Fulci and
They're
you know
really good.
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I
Is
can watch them.
it actually Zombie 2 because it takes place in Louisville, Kentucky?
I don't know about that, Mark. I don't know.
No, it does though. Because
One of them does.
I think it's Zombie 2.
Yeah.
Which is actually it's a big chronological craziness because it's actually the third one or something.
It's the one with the eyeball, right?
Yes.
Something bad happens to the eyeball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm straight.
yeah.
It's got a shark in it.
I put him on the spot. Now he's racing through. It's like it's like the album question.
I just have I don't
nothing in particular.
I just don't have. I like it. I got too much to.
Right.
I mean, a lot of it ties.
Right.
Like the CDs, you have stacks of movies. So many movies.
Absolutely. Hey,
collector.
That's good stuff. Because everything's going digital. We need people like Jim out there to collect that stuff and keep it for posterity's sake.
Yeah,
for real.
Because I'm that way too. I'm not necessarily a pack rat when it comes to stuff like that, but it's like a friend of mine. I've never seen the film. He bought 2 copies of it on accident, and he's like, "Here, do you want this?" It's like Trick or Treat from like 2011 or something or whatever it is.
Gene Simmons and Ozzy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, isn't that the one like the heavy metal demon or something?
That was stayed. Yeah.
Oh no, this one's this one has he looks like a little scarecrow. He's got like a burlap mask.
No idea.
And but he looks like a gingerbread man. It's crazy.
Sounds wicked.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
What do you got, Jared?
Man, I've been thinking about it.
Pulp Fiction. No,
that's a good movie.
So many people say that actually.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Still a good movie.
It is.
If I had to pick something, I think of it like, what could I sit down and watch if I had to watch it once a day for the rest of my life?
The Little Mermaid.
Well, that's not a bad option, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's lovely.
I'd say Clerks 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Over the first one.
I like the first one. Don't get me wrong. I like all of them. But there's something about Clerks 2, a sense of conclusion, I guess, a little bit. Like
Which,
they kind of find
they're making
themselves
a
at the
3.
end. Yes, and I'm excited about that.
My favorite scene in that is like where they're in front of the drive-through, where when you go to the drive-through, you got the speaker, so they're bickering back and forth about, and it's where Dante goes to punch Randall.
Yeah,
and he goes, "You swung at me." He's like, "You ducked because you swung at me."
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's like, but they're in front of a microphone, so everybody can hear it in the store, so it's like not a secret,
right?
So it's total good stuff. Or the other one line would be like, Kelly can be a guy's name too.
Yes.
So anyways, I'm going to check in here with one last question here. How do people reach you? How do people book A Locus Tide to come on their other shows, like 21st Amendment Tavern coming up, stuff like that? How do people get a hold of you guys to book shows?
Well,
so we got a Facebook page, A Locus Tide. If you type that in, it should pop right up.
And that is Locus, Locus, no
yes.
T.
It is no T.
It's
not Locust, Locus.
Locus, yes.
Because I was confused about that at first.
We get that sometimes.
Right.
It's this southern accent.
Right, it's the area,
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's A Locus Tide. So, A Locus Tide on
Yes.
Facebook. You can search there. You can get a hold. You can message. You can say, hey, when are you guys going to put out your album, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to check in with the concert view here, and I'm going to play a track from you guys, which is going to be called Solace of the Hour. And that's going to have the lovely Miss Ashley Vega on vocals.
Yes.
Much props to her on that.
Absolutely. She's actually watching right now. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ash.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey.
And so, we're getting a lot of questions on there. We got a hell yeah, Jim and Todd Totally Rocks from Ashley on here. So
Nice.
Absolutely. So let's check in with Concert View, and when we come back from the track, we're gonna have a Locust Tide live.
Time for the WCHQ Concert View, a service of WCHQ 100.9 FM and Hadley Pottery, 1570 Story Avenue. American made and locally made since 1940. Everyday dishes, wedding presents, baby dishes, and pet dishes. Hadley Pottery, open weekdays 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 3.
All right, this is your WCHQ Concert View for Thursday, October 17th. I'm Ed. Let's take a look at what's shaking and baking in the Louisville area this evening. All right, starting up here in St. Matthews, Jossie Lauren is performing tonight over at Gersel's Place. Malota and Ona are over at the Zanzibar in Germantown starting tonight at 8 o'clock. Colton Kais is at Merle's Whiskey Kitchen. AJ Clements is at Goodwood Brewing tonight starting at 8 o'clock. Joe Robinson is live at Derby City Pizza Company and PRP starting tonight at 6 o'clock. Rob Moppin Jr. is at Diamond Street Grub and Hops, starting tonight at 9 o'clock. Tommy and Jeff are live at Levy at the River House, starting tonight at 7 o'clock. Best Street Talk Band are live at Jimmy Can't Dance, starting later on tonight at 9 o'clock over at Stevie Ray's Blues Bar. It is the Thursday Night Throwdown, kicking off tonight starting at 9 o'clock. Alan Bryant, Deshaun McLean, Some Swords and Fall are all over at the Butchertown Social, starting tonight at 8 o'clock. George Stearman is live at Stooges Bar and Grill, starting tonight at 7 o'clock. Cassidy Pope is live at 4th Street Live in downtown Louisville, starting tonight at 8 o'clock. Hazelfire, Soiree, and Anyone Anyway are at the Mag Bar, starting tonight at 8 o'clock. Jedina is on the 85 to Africa tour at the Mercury Ballroom in downtown Louisville tonight, starting at 8 o'clock. And finally, the big event of the night, Carrie Underwood is on the Crying Pretty tour at the KFC Yum Center in downtown Louisville, starting tonight at 7 o'clock.
This has been your WCHQ Concert View. If you've got a gig you'd like to let us know about, head over to WCHQFM.com and hit the icon at the top of the screen that says List Your Gig.
All right, that was Locust Tide, and here they are, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, are you ready?
We're getting there.
You're getting there.
All right.
right, guys. Heck yeah.
You got some more time, Mark?
Woo! Hey, put that microphone on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
Dude.
Good evening.
Oh, my gosh. That is absolutely crazy.
Thank you, man.
So, again, do you have any last shout-outs for anybody, and how do people get a hold of you guys?
Well, get a hold of us on the Facebook page, A Locus Tide. Big shout-outs to my friend Craig Wright right now. He's in the hospital. He's gotten a surgery, an abscess in his neck. He's a wonderful guy. He's in a band called Ravenhide. Ooh. And he's helping us out with some of the vocals on the album. And another great big shout-out to the wonderful and talented Ashley Vega. She's working with the Va Vixens. Yeah. She's working with Jerry Barksdale with his Third Promise of the Plague album.
Yeah.
And doing a television show, right, with Sean?
Yeah, I believe it's Ville TV with Sean Burton Saunders.
That's the one. I had that written down, but I don't have my notes.
Yeah,
that's it.
He should probably be coming in the studio here before too long and talking about some cross-promotion with Ville TV and the Metal Forge.
Word.
So, again, you can find these guys on Facebook at A Locus Tide. And I'm sure if they have a Twitter, it's all the same stuff, right?
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
All right. So I'm going to play a couple of songs here, and we're going to come back with the great Adam Neal from Savage Master. Woo-hoo! All right. You might recognize this song. I don't know. This is Usurper by Overload. right. That was Myth Magic Steel. Whoa, hang on. Oops. It went right to the next track. That's Myth Magic Steel from the new titled album of Myth Magic Steel from Savage Master. And I have Mr. Adam Neal in the studio. Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm feeling pretty damn good because I've got this awesome new CD copy of Savage Master album in my hand.
There you go. That'll cheer anybody up.
Absolutely. Hang on a second. I'm being unprofessional. I'm switching to camera feed. So how was your day, man?
It was good.
So you're getting ready to put out a new album.
Got a new one coming out October 25th.
October 25th.
Shadow Kingdom Records.
That's exactly what I was about to just say. You took the words out. Oh, wait.
Yeah, October 25th got a new one coming out. Very excited about it.
Pull the mic up just a little bit. If it'll work.
Is that a little better?
Yes, that's a lot
right.
better. Now we can hear you.
All right.
So this one is, 2 years in the making?
About 2 years in the making. We did an EP right before this, and I had a little bit of this material then, so it's good. It's a good 2 years, yeah.
Right. So because with Whips and Chains was 2017.
That's right.
And you had Creature of the Flames, which was 2018. Is that right?
Maybe Chains was 16. I'm not sure.
Because I know the first one, Mask of the Devil, was 14.
Yes.
So yeah. So
we
you
had a little time between.
About a 2 year gap between each thing. Then
about that, yeah.
About
a little longer on this one, maybe. You might be right there.
Right. But you all have done a massive amount of touring in that amount of time, too.
It's on the tour, and we try to tour as much as we can just to get out and see the fans play in front of the fans.
Absolutely.
That's what we
and I mean, you all pick, awesome, tours to go on because it's what I'm saying is, you pick, a big West Coast swing, and you'll hit, Seattle, Portland, 5 or 6 places around the L.A. area.
Sure. You do what you can. Each one's different, and some things you get offered better shots, and sometimes you don't. But those are kind of like hot markets that you just have to hit. For a metal band, Seattle, we're going to hit Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's
Portland. We're going to hit Portland for sure.
Oh yeah, because it works out each time.
Definitely.
And you're going to hit places like Houston and Dallas, and
of course, Texas is a gold mine for sure.
Oh, absolutely,
it's a metal state.
Very.
San Antonio, man.
Yeah, San Antonio. Nice. Austin. Austin's awesome because it's like Nashville and it's like Nashville meets L.A.
True.
It's like you've got just as much country people, country music fans, and then you've got so much L.A. metal fans, and Austin is the mix of that.
Yeah, I can see
especially
that.
On 6th Street.
Just music there in general is just such a part of the city's culture that you get everything there.
Oh yeah,
it's a great melting pot. But also, I think it's kind of I don't live there, but I think it's probably kind of overdone too, though. At this point, Austin's so hot that you can play there, and maybe you won't have a good show because there's just so many
much
damn
stuff.
Things going on.
Right. And that's one of the big things that I've noticed here. We have so much stuff going on.
For a small town, we have a lot of stuff happening.
Right. And we play the concert view on the half an hour of every hour on the station up until 10 o'clock. And, Mondays and Tuesdays, it might be a minute and a half, but by the time Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday roll around, it's 6 minutes long because it's all shows going on in Louisville, and that's a big deal, because I know you all pretty well limit how many Louisville dates you do. You all just played with Sacred Reich at the Tiger Room back in September.
Well,
and before that, it was probably
It was like
decided
for something before that. We do limit it to a certain extent, but it's not necessarily on purpose. A lot of it has to do with our lineup. Two of our guys are from Mississippi, New Orleans area.
Oh yeah,
and then
so it's got to be worth it
here. So it's kind of like we can't just jump on local bills,
right,
like a normal local band would.
Right.
So it kind of has to be planned out, and that just ends up being certain shows we have to just kind of handpick.
Right, absolutely.
I wish we could play here more, actually, but
I totally get that. It's all good stuff. So because I've never done this as a musician, so tell me what it's like to do the European tour stuff. I mean, because there's a lot of musicians here that are like, you know what, I'd probably go over better in somewhere like Germany.
Well, that's probably true. I mean,
because they're a big metal.
I was just
metal
having
country.
a discussion with a friend of mine about Germany and how Germany, not only is it metal is huge there, but just music in general is very important in Germany. Like, Germans love music.
Right.
And so all genres benefit from that through Germany, you know?
Absolutely.
But metal, of course, it's known to be big there. It's a metal country. It's German metal, you know?
Yeah.
But what's it like touring there? Well, it's just it's a different kind of head altogether because the way they treat the bands is quite different. The road gigs are set up a little more reasonable and amicably for the bands to survive. That's a little bit better. They feed you, things like that.
Right.
So this is on the lower level of things. There's often places for you to stay, which in the States, you know, you're just on your own. It's
Right.
just-
It's barren
whatever.
wasteland.
They may not even pay you at the gig. You don't even know what's going to happen.
Right.
So
Been there, done that.
that's definitely a bigger difference. There's a lot of trouble to going over there and coming back. You know, like
Passport
your
issues.
passports, your shirts, your equipment, the vehicle you're in. It goes on and on. It's a big to do, you know. But also the crowds are a lot more receptive, and it seems like not to say that metal completely died here in the States, but I think it certainly lived on much stronger on European
overseas.
continent. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I'm sure that's a big factor with not just on the European side of everything, but the Asian side, especially like with Japan and stuff like now.
I'm sure, yeah. I would
Yeah.
love for us to make it to Japan. Any Asian countries, I would just.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, anywhere we can play, I would like to play. That
Right.
We haven't played anywhere. I love it. You know.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, because y'all have been on a few festival shows overseas and like
Sure.
Keep It True.
We got very lucky and got on Keep It True. Thank you very much, Oliver, if you're listening. That was a big break for us, and it was really just an incredible thing to get. Number one, to even get to go to the festival was quite awesome. I'd seen the festival, knew what it was, and was always kind of in awe of the bands that he was able to get to play, the older bands.
Right. Because wasn't Kira Thungle on one of them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a who's list of from obscure heavy metal from the 80s to even higher tier bands that you just can't even believe you're going to get to see. And he did a lot of that and brought those. So when we got the ability to go play that, I thought, well, that's just incredible. It was just like a great vote of confidence for the band, and I think really pushed us to work even harder.
Absolutely.
Once that happened. You know?
Because you all are, you know, like I said, with all the tours that you do and everything, you guys are some working fools when it comes down to it. You know, because you're about to go out on tour again.
That's
It's
right.
like how many dates is it?
I think it's 15 or 16 dates. It's October 25th through November 10th. And that'll be like Texas and West Coast stuff.
Right.
And then we'll turn right back around in December, and we'll go out with Guar for a week or so in the end of December.
Wow.
And so that's that. We're really looking forward to that one. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I've noticed you're posting on Facebook. You're like, I'm really stoked about
Oh,
this.
it's great. It's fantastic,
Because,
you know?
regardless if Dave is there or not, they're living on, which is what Dave wanted.
Well,
But
absolutely. I think
And it's
that's
still
really-
Guar.
It's totally still Guar. I think they're like an institution, sort of. Whereas, you know, I got into them when I was younger during like Hello Scumdogs era.
Oh, yes.
So to me, that's Guar.
Yes.
But then each generation of kids have come along, have discovered Guar and gone and seen them.
Like with Ragnarok.
Yeah,
or,
in each album, these all mean different things to different people, and it spans such a swath of age and demographic that the band has touched that I don't think that unless they wanted to lay it down, I don't see any reason that they would or should stop doing Guar.
Exactly. Which is, you know, I watched an interview with Dave one time, and he had actually said the reason why the characters were there was so it didn't have to ever end.
Right.
Because they could, you know, they could pass along characters to their children, to their mentees and stuff
Sure,
like that.
absolutely.
Like somebody came down
And that's pretty much what's happened.
right.
You know?
Because, you know, we've had a member of Guar that's come from Louisville.
Absolutely.
You know, Jamie Land out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, and it's one of those things that's just like, wow, you know, that this guy could do this too. You know, I could do this.
I know, right.
You know?
It's pretty cool. Frankly, that was one of the parts of our thinking when we brought Savage Master out as a costumed, you know, under the hoods and all this stuff. And one of the things was like, well, we could pretty much do this with anybody as long as they can play the songs, and it won't make a difference
Who's there?
who's there.
Right.
I could not be there, and it wouldn't really make a difference as long as the songs are played. As long as Stacy's there singing the song,
Right, because obviously, because
hooded
Stacey's
guys behind her, it's going to be fine, you know. That's great.
Yeah, and I
Personally.
mean, it's one of those things that just keeps
Just
going.
like Dave, I mean, I started the band, and to me, that I'm fine with that. I would like, great, keep going with it. Take it as far as you can possibly take it. You know
right?
what I mean, like, why not?
Hey, I mean, that's a good concept to have, you know.
Yeah.
And me being the only original member of my band,
Sure.
I know how it is.
Well, same in my old band, 35, 36 members or something.
Oh
like
my
that,
God!
over
You all
the span
have
of 20
a.
years.
What is hilarious about that is the Wikipedia page.
Oh, my
that
God.
lists so many people.
It's so Spinal Tap. It's beyond Spinal Tap.
Which,
actually.
you know, you get this. A lot of the younger bands that come on the show that I ask, they never get it, and you're a perfect person to ask.
Oh boy.
What is your biggest Spinal Tap moment as a musician?
Oh my God, biggest Spinal
The
Tap
one that
moment.
means the most to you.
Well, that at this point it would be hard. I mean,
because there's been so many, I'm sure.
From falling off stages, you know, which in my old band Hookers, I drank a lot, and so that actually did happen to me several times. I fell off the stage.
Oh my God.
I managed to fall off a 2-inch stage at one point, which is just kind of unimaginable. But in Savage Master, every day of our lives is some kind of Spinal Tap moment because of just the game that we're playing with all this ridiculous stuff on.
Sorry.
And, all this ridiculous stuff on. And we have to stage all of our stuff, then go quickly dress and get back out there. And it's always that kind of like endless spot. Somebody can't find this. You can't find the stage. I can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
We're dressing in a tiny closet that we're all stuffed into.
Right.
You never know. We're dressing in the van in 110-degree weather and going into the air conditioning club.
20-degree weather.
Or whatever it is.
Right.
So 20-degree weather. It's snowing outside and we're dressing outside.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
every single day of the Savage Master life has some Spinal Tap
something
moment.
something to
Absolutely.
do with it. You know, I remember one. It was actually after a show. I was carrying a bass amp down the steps at Tech World in the back, and it was January.
Right.
And as soon as my feet touched the ground, after walking down the steps, they went out from under me and was like, bam.
Oh.
100-pound bass amp in my arms. I was just like, well, if I'm dying, this is it. Clench the amp and just go with it.
One of those moments you're really glad you're in a band. Just
Oh yeah,
so
I was
stoked
like,
on it.
And you know what? It was a show. It was a cover band battle, like a battle of the
that's
cover
incredible.
songs. So you didn't get paid for it. So
Nobody got paid.
Nobody got paid.
And you only did covers.
And they only did like 3 covers. They had like 17 bands.
Zero glory. Nothing.
Tourniquet won that. So Terry out there won that.
Oh wow.
It's good stuff though. I love it. I wouldn't.
to Terry.
Huh? Kudos to Terry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade anything like that. You know, I love stepping on like extension cords on
God.
stage because when you step and they slide and you do the splits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've done that numerous times.
I've definitely been on some slick stages. Speaking of Keep It True, it was like that thing was buttered, man.
Oh, wow.
Like a good friend of mine, King Foley, he was telling me that when they played it, it was the same. He played there, I believe, with October 31 was what the band he was in that played it. He said he was literally just slipping and sliding across like he was had socks on or something.
Oh, man.
Like the Tom Cruise thing or whatever.
Oh, like Risky Business?
Yeah, Risky Business. And so I didn't really pay much attention to it. When we got there, it was like buttered ice. I couldn't believe it. And it's a huge stage, so you have to move around.
And you play in boots, too.
Oh, we're playing these ridiculous tall boots, and you just...
But not like Kiss tall boots.
Not yet.
Not yet? Yet?
Maybe one day.
That's hilarious.
As soon as I can afford those boots, we're getting them.
And obviously, that's a band that's, stayed young over the years.
Kiss?
Except, because of the makeup,
Sure.
I mean,
I think that's...
because Ace looks
probably-
great these days.
That's honestly probably the entire concept idea comes from that band in a lot of ways. I mean, I realize there's tons of concept artists before that, like
Right.
in costume and stuff, but frankly, for me as a kid, Kiss was probably definitely the seed of that
Right.
Like, oh, well, wear costumes, be a character, do that kind of thing. I know Guar, that was a big, same thing, I'm sure, for Dave, was probably Kiss fandom somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know that for sure, but I'm sure.
But
probably.
with looking at the get-up of the bodysuit.
And their whole concept of always continuing the band regardless.
And changing, adding new characters.
Yeah.
Not just the original,
Well, I feel like Gene has said, and I may be wrong here, but I feel like Gene said something to the degree of that they would even replace him and Paul at some point. They could do that and just have a completely different cast of characters play the Kiss songs as Kiss. I mean, that sounds absurd, but I don't think it's that crazy either.
No, I mean, especially now that they're 70,
exactly. Like, at some point,
like
it's
that.
ridiculous, but also we'll always probably want to hear Kiss. So.
Right, and I actually got to see them for the first time on this goodbye tour.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'd never seen them before
I heard
this year.
good things about this last tour.
It was really good. It was total classic. The same 18 Kiss songs that they played for the last 20 years.
Of course.
They did play Psycho Circus, which was interesting.
Yeah, well, it's one of their albums.
Yeah, it is. I remember
they did release that.
I remember calling up Tony Vanetti one day, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, do you got anything you can give away?" I was like 13 or 14 at the time.
Oh man!
And he's like, "Yeah, come down to the station. Blah blah blah. I'll have this for you." And it was the Psycho Circus promo copy, and I was like, "Dude, it's Kiss's new album," and it's like. What?
Oh man!
There's 2 good songs, 2.
That's almost pushing it, but I can go down that with you. Definitely.
Within the Gene song "Within" is a good song, but I can't name the other one to save my life.
At the same time, I gotta admit, I didn't expect it to be that great either.
Oh no! It couldn't be Revenge.
No,
and Revenge is amazing. Hot in the Shade is pretty good.
See, I feel like that was probably where I fell out of tune with them a bit, was the Hot in the Shade. Just didn't really like it at the time.
Right.
And I think I was into heavier stuff and stopped paying attention to Kiss for a little while at that point, probably. And then started going back to it there's 5 years later, probably.
There's a bartender at 21st Amendment Tavern that looks like 95 Gene, where he's got the goatee and the little scruff mustache. And I was like... Dude, and I told him, I was like, dude, you look like Gene, unmasked Gene, 80s Gene,
Scary
95,
Gene.
Scary Gene, yeah. And he's like, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
If you're going to look creepy, look like Gene. It's cool.
Yeah, because it works, But look who he's married to. So,
yeah,
so that just goes to say. So, October 25th.
Yeah.
You can pick up the new album. You can get
CD,
it.
cassette, LP.
Yeah, CD, cassette, LP. If you go online to ShadowKingdomRecords.com, you can pre-order it.
Absolutely. You can also pre-order it from Savage Masters Bandcamp if you'd like.
Yes.
Directly from us if you'd like.
Digital and physical copies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I see the cassettes. I see everything here. Cassettes look like they're limited to 300.
That's right.
There is a gold edition, limited to 100 copies. Looks like Electric Blue, which is a High Roller Records exclusive, and the gold is No Remorse Records exclusive. So
there we go.
You can follow the links on there and get those. Of course, there's a limited 500 black.
That's right.
Copy, which is interesting these days because everybody's printing on colors.
The black is now the odd man out.
Yeah.
It's the rarity, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I still like the black hooves.
Oh yeah, you like that one? Huh?
Yeah, because it's like the beer yellow, or what some people refer to as pea yellow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard the pea yellow.
Yeah,
sure.
P is in another word.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that I can't say because that's one of the no-nos. But yeah, I'm really digging this Dragon's Breath. The orange and yellow and the red.
In real life, the records look just so fantastic.
Oh yeah,
the actual vinyls look really beautiful.
Absolutely, and like I said, I'm the fanboy here, and I actually pre-ordered the limited to 100 gold, and it's coming next, in the next 2 weeks from Germany, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait.
You got to send me a picture of that.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
The only way I'll see it, bro.
See, and the bad thing is I want to listen to it so bad.
Yeah.
And I know music is made to be listened to and collected, and I've got a limited edition Phantasm soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
That's blood splatter on yellow vinyl.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it really is, and it's clear yellow vinyl. It's translucent.
Ooh, nice.
And I had to take it out and look at it and like, oh,
Sure.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
They actually had, it's phantasm. It's got
rules.
Malcolm Seagrave and Fred Myro's soundtrack
I
to
tell
the
you,
greatest movie alive.
Something I wish they'd bring back. It was speaking of just vinyl and all the different colors and how black's,
Right.
the rarity now or whatever. But I really wish they'd bring back the picture disc.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you just rarely see picture discs anymore of any bands. Every once in a while, bands
Psycho
will kick 'em.
Stick had one
Yeah,
here
like,
recently.
It's always like certain upper level, major label money type bands or
Right.
something like that. I don't
People
know.
like Maiden have
yeah,
them
yeah,
and
but
so on and so forth.
Back in the day, there were all kinds of like. Remember all those bootleg picture discs,
yeah.
and interview discs, and just garbage pressed onto records.
What I think
they all
is-
sounded terrible.
yeah,
it was great
because of the picture on there.
Yeah, they
It's
were all
like-
total crap records. I loved it.
What, do you remember, like, there was a craze in, like, the mid to late 90s of die-cut CDs? Like
Die-cut
interview discs.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do
And
remember that.
it would be like a 20-minute disc, but it would be like a cutout of like the band's logo or something. It's
Right.
like die cut.
Those are great.
And you could never play them on like a car stereo.
Of course not. It had to be the one with the tray and all that.
Yeah, it
stuff,
had to be a tray, and yeah, it's such a terrible design.
It's
I think I
like
saw an
the,
Aerosmith when that was.
The classic, those old flexi discs that would come with magazines and stuff like that.
Angel
You
Witch.
play them a couple times, they would wear through.
Yep.
I remember my needle sticking on one and they just going flying off there.
I have one of those.
Oh, really?
Still in my collection, and I can't remember who it is.
Got a handful of flexis.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, on the European copies, I think it might, we were talking about Decibel Magazine on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, I believe they've had flexis for sure.
Yeah, and they had an Angel Witch one.
Oh, wow.
Which is from their new album that they're coming
That's
out
right.
with.
They've got the new. That song was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the band. I
like
mean,
it. Oh,
I would
fantastic.
love for them or
We
somebody
got to
like
see
Venom.
them.
Really?
Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, we played this festival in Canada called Wings of Metal
Oh yeah, yeah.
that a friend of ours, Anik, puts on or works on, and they headlined it, and man, they were incredible.
I guarantee it.
It was really incredible. I mean, like, we see a lot of older bands come back and do it, especially in Savage Master, because it's kind of an older school metal thing. So we play with a lot of older bands, and they bring it back to a certain degree. Some are great, some are just okay. But man, they sounded dead on the records. His voice still sounds so great.
Wow.
And the guitars were perfect.
We actually have a band here in Louisville called Blood Curse,
Oh yeah, Blood Curse.
and they do a cover of Angel
That's
Witch,
right.
and it's so good. And-
Fantastic band.
And it's like I think in the original promo, it was just the two of them doing
Yeah,
it.
they have a bass player that I think I don't know if he's a full part of the band or not, but I see him in some of the photos now.
Right.
But originally, I think it was just him and her.
Yeah, and I think it was just him and
Yeah.
her that put that out.
Probably
They actually
so.
just put out a new single, so it's pretty good.
We had them on a show with us in Lexington a couple of years ago. I thought they were great.
oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just great old school stuff, and they're such dedicated
And
metal
they're-
fans, and she did that great fanzine. I'm just overall fans of those two.
Right, absolutely, it's good stuff. What else y'all got going on other than the tour, and you got the Guar thing?
Yeah, we got
you probably got a lot of irons in the fire for next
A
year.
bunch of stuff I can't even throw out there,
Right.
but our year will be
Legal obligations.
full as possible with the touring. I know we'll do another European jaunt next year in the fall with High Spirits,
Nice.
late summer, fall.
You all seem
And-
to buddy up a lot on the road. It seems like.
Well, it all comes down to really that me and Chris Maycock, or Professor Black, main High Spirits human, me and him met in the very early 2000s with our other bands. I was in a band called Brothers of Conquest at the time, a Louisville band,
Right.
with some Louisville alumni, and he had a band called Super Christ. This is well before Savage Master or High Spirits or any of that kind of
Right.
stuff was even thought of. And we met playing shows, and they do kind of a Motorhead style stuff, and we were doing kind of like early metal 70s rock type stuff.
Right on.
So we immediately started talking about new wave of British heavy metal, 70s heavy stuff like that, and we hit it off a pretty good friendship and have remained pretty good friends since then. So as both of our High Spirits, when they started popping off, they would play with hookers a little bit. Sometimes we played some shows, and then they got bigger and bigger,
right.
And then I had Savage Master, And then slowly Savage Master climbed up a little bit more. And then we started playing shows together because we're friends.
Right.
And then it started making sense that we played shows together, because the audience was so the same kind of.
Right. So why not?
They get a certain kind of people. We get a certain type of people. But in the middle, there's this huge amount of people that like us both. And so it's just obvious that we would do it. I would tour with them anytime I could. I love those guys. Amazing people.
And that's great camaraderie to have with bands,
Frankly, Chris is a genius. Frankly. I mean, I'll just say it. I think the guy's a genius. It's crazy. His ability to write those songs is just
Is it genius? Is it like genius level, like to where you would love to be in a band with him and write and play, or have been, and
I would love to do anything with Chris ever. I know that we've talked about me singing on something he wrote before. And same with Stacy. I think she's done it even. I'm not sure if she finished it, but yeah, I would love to work with Chris. But the thing is with Chris is, for the most part, he's like a self-contained artist. I mean, he does that stuff by himself.
Oh, wow.
That high spirit stuff is just him on the records.
Oh, wow.
Right. So all that is just him, and then the band learns to play it for the tour,
It's kind of like an Adam Jones thing.
I can see that, yeah.
Because Adam Jones kind of does that with Tool.
And it just works, and it's worked out. So he's so contained, I don't know if he'd ever actually let me write anything with him.
Right.
But I could probably perform something on something for him. But I do think he's a genius. That album, Another Night in the City, you'd be hard-pressed to find a catchier song written in the last 10 to 15 years than that song. I mean, that's a revelation how good that is. Really blows me away.
I wish they were local, actually.
I do too. I wish they toured more.
Well,
they do.
I wish they were local so I could play them on the station, because we are an all-local station.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what, Chicago?
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite close enough.
Not quite close enough. If they were around Columbus and possibly pushing Indy, maybe I could do something.
Right.
But yeah, I wish we could play some high spirits and stuff like that. And, there's... I mean, y'all have had like your own 7-inch vinyls and stuff like that, and you've had splits that you've done, like with the Rawhide split.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
That was great.
Good stuff on that. Or was that Savage Man? No, that was
Hookers.
That was Hookers. Yeah. Oh, see, I'm mixing the two now.
But it's kind of confusing because Savage Master has played with Rawhide, and so it kind of mixes both worlds up. Another great rock and roll band though. Rawhide, that's great.
Absolutely. So, with what you've done musically for your entire life, and I don't know if you heard this question earlier, if you were listening in or anything, what's your biggest achievement?
My biggest achievement?
Mm-hmm.
Probably just survival. That I'm still here doing it, and that I'm not going to stop doing it. I do consider myself a lifer in that degree. Like, I've known plenty of people over the years who've tried their hand at this and failed harshly and gave up, and but not that I haven't failed. I've certainly failed a lot and harshly, but I'm still here. I'm still
perseverance,
doing it, and I'm not going to give it up. But otherwise, I think just in general, Savage Master is my biggest achievement. Just the whole thing conceptually, I was really happy with it, and then the writing, I've never felt happier about the material I've written than in the Savage Master realm of things. Like that's the most inspiration I have to write music, and I feel like I've written my best stuff within that band.
Nice.
I don't know if the fans would necessarily agree with that, but to me, that's it. The things we've been able to do, how far we've taken the band, it's really meant a lot.
Right, and I know it kind of seems like overnight almost.
Right,
because
but we're already 6 years into it.
Right, yeah, but you're 6 years in, and it seems like it's, time flies, as as it were, because I remember when y'all put out the first album.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've got to get, I saw the image of the album art, and y'all did, the song on YouTube with Ripper and Black, and I was like, I've got to have this. And it's like, I was like, dude, meet up with me, and I met up with you at work, and and it's been like a wildfire ever since, and that's totally awesome.
It's definitely continued.
But the other part of that question is, what's your goal to surpass that?
Surpass that? Well, I think
world tour with Maiden. I mean,
absolutely. I mean,
I was going to say Metallica, but that's
sometimes there seems to in the underground music scene, there seems to be a certain cap on how far you're supposed to dream or look ahead of yourself, or how much success you're supposed to want or something, because it's all still underground music and you can't go, messing people over and that kind of stuff. I don't ever believe in that.
No.
Always cool and always a good vibe. But, I want to take it to the sky as far as we can take it. I'm willing to take it there. Let's do it. Whatever it is, we'll sign up. Let's go.
Right. And that's all you can do.
We will take it as far as we can possibly take it. That's how I feel about that particular question. Like, as far as where we're going, the sky, man, we'll take it until it burns out and they won't let us play anymore,
And that's that's probably the greatest answer I've actually had for that question, is because it's a daunting question to ask.
It is,
because some people are like, well, I really don't know, but for some, you like you said, you're a lifer. You've committed your life to this, because I know the first Hookers album came out in '96.
Yep,
and I know you've hit hard the entire way, at least for the last, 23 years now.
Interesting thing about the Hookers is, it started back in '96. All that, the first singles came out then, and then we had that album,
Satan's Highway,
and then followed it up with another album, and things were going quite well. We were touring a lot, and we had been approached by Sub Pop at the time, and all this rigmarole had gone on, money talk, and it was all quite daunting, like you were saying. It was quite over the top at the time, and enough to give you somewhat of ego about it. But then it quickly crashed and burned,
right?
Due to the band itself kind of imploding. All kinds of things happened, but and we were inactive for a period of time. But what was interesting was when we brought the band back, it was actually much bigger than it ever was as the original incarnation of the band.
A cult following.
Like, over that time period, people had heard finally heard the records, because there was such a backlash against us at the original release of Satan's Highway and Black Visions, that we were playing in kind of the garage punk scene, and we're playing some stuff that's on the verge of Venom almost, like satanic, and it's fast punk. It's not, I'm yelling my head off. It wasn't like, the Mummies or something. And so we got a lot of flack for that. And I think that actually helped in the long run. Once the band died out, people heard about the flack, and that created an interest in what are these guys about. And then it seemed like, it's cool they were doing metal then,
Right, and then you put out a few albums since then,
Absolutely.
like It's Midnight, The Witching Hour, great album. I love all of it.
Thank you.
I don't know, I sent you when I was walking down the alley the other day, I sent you the back alley trash picture. I was like, yes. I was like, this is too good not to send.
Yeah, that worked out so great too. Like, when we came back with the first comeback album, it was hard to get out at first just because we didn't know what we were doing. Like, who do we go with now? We hadn't been active in so long. And but that second comeback, It's Midnight, that was Billy from Razorback. Those guys just helped us out so much, and put us in front of the proper audience that was already going to like us,
And I know Stonecutter's Lore of Omer's played in the Hookers.
Omer did some tours, absolutely.
Nice.
He did his time.
Everybody has except for me.
and then quickly left.
Hey, he's doing his thing, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Me and Brian have been friends since high school.
Oh, yeah.
Out in rural Kentucky, Lincoln County, Bull County. Whoa. Where there are only 6 metalheads down there, and we were
and you were 2 of them.
That's right.
So you all, on Creature, you all did a cover song as well.
That's right, Holocaust, Death or Glory.
Yes. Do you all do anything else? I know Hookers has... But what about Savage Master?
Over time, we've done, on record, we've done...
Well, just in general, do you throw one out there for the live crowd occasionally?
We used to do covers, but now I think we've got in a situation where...
People are here to see you?
Well, we have so much material now that picking a 35 to 45-minute set, if you're an opener, is complicated. There's songs that, like we always discuss, there's songs we have to play.
Right.
Ripper and Black, we can't do a show without playing Ripper and Black. Everybody wants to hear that,
right.
So we have to do it. There's a list of songs, Looking for a Sacrifice. That's one we're always going to do. It's a crowd pleaser, so we're always going to play that song.
Death Rides the Highway.
Death Rides the Highway. That's back in the set. We took it out over the summer, but it's back.
The funny thing is I usually end my show on 2 songs tonight. I usually end either on Rifles, Murder Drinking, And I'm like, hey, guys, I'll see you at the bar. And I'm going to the bar and play Murder Drinking. And the other one is, if I don't go to the bar or anything, I'm like, see you guys later, and I play Death Rides the Highway.
That's great.
Because
car crash metal.
Yeah, exactly. Because I drive a black Charger and gun it the entire way.
Man. That's very nice.
American muscle.
To get back to the covers thing, though, over the history band, we've done Swords and Tequila, of course, Riot.
Right.
We've done an Exciter song, Saxons of the Fire. We've done that Holocaust tune,
right?
Which I don't know if you're a fan of that album, but that's one of my favorite albums ever.
From
the
Holocaust?
Holocaust, the Nightcomers. It's just, oh man, it's so good. Anyway, but used to, we would throw in stuff like Uriah Heep's Rainbow Demon.
Wow.
I know there was other stuff that we were playing earlier on at some of the shows, and also in the jam room, and we've been working up we've got a split single we're working on right now with Nuke, this band called Nuke.
Right.
Amazing Detroit, like post-apocalyptic rock and roll kind of band. Absolutely incredible. So, but we're both doing a split. We're doing a split with them on which we both do Ted Nugent songs.
Wow.
Which is not the most popular thing to do, but
not these days.
No. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to argue for Ted here, believe me, but at the same time, the guitar stuff is an ape. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So we're both doing those songs. So now we've been working up Stormtroopin' and Dog Eat Dog. So we've been playing those in the room a bit, which is pretty fun to play that kind of stuff, It's also not that far from...
Seeing Stacy sing Dog Eat Dog would be insane.
It's not that far from what we already kind of do. Once you play them, you're like, these songs are much kind of like our songs.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the influence. 70s rock is a big influence on me, definitely. And early metal stuff. Late 70s, yeah.
That's awesome stuff, though. And back on the Angel Witch thing, that's a thing like... that was one of Mustaine's favorite bands.
They were. I can't imagine hearing that back then and not just being blown away by it.
Well, that goes to the Venom thing. Slayer wanting to be Venom, and Slayer's heavier than Venom, and it's just like. But
ultimately,
it's like,
they did surpass them, sure.
Right, and it's such.
Same with Bathory. Kind of took the concept and ran with it to a darker place.
Absolutely. Well, we've only got a few minutes here left. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give to anybody?
Hey, just all Savage Master fans out there, thank you. Check us out on Facebook, Savage Master Official, or Shadow Kingdom Records, or check out our Bandcamp.
Which is Savage Master Official at bandcamp.com. I'm looking at it right now, actually. It's total good stuff. And, dude, I want to thank you for coming in, and thank you for the album. I'm going to show this off to the camera up here.
I appreciate it.
Myth, Magic, and Steel coming out October the 25th, which is next Friday?
I think so.
Friday? Yeah, I think so. And, hey, if anybody wants to see some live music, come on out to the 21st Amendment Tavern this Saturday night. We have Rifle, Push Start, and the God Awfuls. Doors are at 8:30. Show is at 9. And it's going to be $5 cover charge. And, hey, come out. You can get a raffle ticket for a Tattoo Charlie's gift card. Sponsor of the Metal Forge here. It's good stuff. But, dude, seriously, it's been awesome. I appreciate you coming in.
I really appreciate you having me. Thank you.
It's
been a long time coming.
It has,
It has.
We tried back in March, but you went on tour.
I know,
I'm like,
it didn't work out yet.
And, I totally would love to have you guys eventually come in and play.
We would definitely like to get the band in here and try to pull something off.
Try to have John play on the little kit.
I'm not even sure if we can get John in that room, but
wow.
He's a monster.
Yes, he is. So it's not going to be a Savage Master tune, but it's a minute 47. I bet you're gonna like it anyways. This is Hookers with Endless Slaughterhouse. You've been listening to the Metal Forge. Thank you all. Tune in here in a couple hours for Midnight Oil with Zach Becker. He'll be here in just a minute. This is Hookers.
Something wicked waits for you. Get in, cause you're
Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at tattoocharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait.
You're listening to WCHQLP, Louisville, Kentucky, 100.9 FM.